In December of 1938, on a cold morning off the South African coast, a solitary fisherman cast his nets. He had no way of knowing his morning catch would soon challenge the established timeline of life on Earth. At the time, life along this stretch of the Atlantic followed a predictable rhythm. The local trades and the daily hauls were standard. There was no reason to suspect the water held a biological anomaly. But as the heavy, wet fishing net was dragged onto the wooden deck, a bizarre silhouette thrashed in the dim light. It was 5 feet long, glowing with a strange blue hue. Instead of normal fins, it had 4 thick, fleshy appendages functioning like legs. When marine experts identified the creature as a coelacanth, they were faced with a biological impossibility. The fossil record showed this species had vanished 65 million years ago, ending abruptly in the same layers of Earth as the dinosaurs. To survive that massive gap in time, the fish evolved highly specialized anatomy.
This cross-section highlights its skull cavity. Unlike modern fish, 99% of its head is filled with a dense mass of fat to protect it from crushing deep-sea pressure, leaving just 1% for its brain. Since it lives in perpetual darkness, it relies on a unique rostral organ at the front of its snout. This organ detects the faint electrical currents generated by nearby prey, allowing it to hunt without sight. The coelacanth's survival suggests that even our most confident maps of the past can be upended by a single, unplanned encounter. It hints at a pattern. Sometimes the most significant gaps in our history are filled only when we stop looking for the expected and stumble onto the impossible. In 2023, a British oil company deployed a robotic vehicle about 55 miles off the coast of Israel, scanning the Mediterranean seafloor over a mile deep. The engineers monitoring the feed expected to see bare sand. Instead, the robot's light swept over an unnatural mound rising from the silt, revealing the unmistakable curved edges of hundreds of buried ceramic jars. The Israeli Antiquities Authority confirmed the jars were ancient vessels for wine and oil. Carbon dating placed them at 3,300 years old, making this the oldest deep-water shipwreck ever recorded. This map visualizes the massive scale of the Mediterranean Sea. Finding a commercial cargo ship resting a mile deep proves that sailors 3 millennia ago possessed navigation technology capable of crossing these volatile, open expanses. It suggests that ancient humans were conquering extreme geographical barriers far earlier than our current history books suggest. In 2007, Dr. Mark Hawley was scanning the floor of Lake Michigan for missing shipwrecks when his sonar picked up a feature that shouldn't have existed. Stretching across the silt was a perfectly straight, mile-long line of massive stones. Anthropological research later identified these as drive lines, carefully constructed 10,000 years ago by Native American hunters back when the lake bed was dry land. Their primary target was the caribou. These animals possess a specific behavioral instinct. During migration, they will follow linear paths and geographical boundaries rather than breaking formation. By organizing massive stones into these V-shaped paths, the hunters weaponized the caribou's own instincts. The animals would follow the funneled path straight into a confined circular kill zone situated right against a steep drop-off. These submerged traps reveal prehistoric humans as sophisticated engineers who systematically manipulated their environment to control their prey. Pulling these secrets from the earth rarely comes without a price. In some cases, unearthing history carries a devastating human cost for those who find it. In the spring of 1974, a severe drought hit the Shaanxi province of China. Crops were failing, and the impoverished farmers in the village of Xi'an had no choice but to dig new wells for survival. After 3 days of digging, at a depth of 15 feet, a farmer named Yang Zifa struck something hard with his shovel. The sharp, metallic thud signaled that they had hit something other than water. As Yang brushed away the heavy soil, he found 2 hyper-realistic clay eyes staring back at him from the darkness of the trench. This was the first glimpse of the Terracotta Army. Beneath the farmers' fields lay over 8,000 uniquely sculpted soldiers, buried to protect Emperor Qin Shi Huang in the afterlife. The villagers of Xi'an met the discovery with immediate dread. Local superstition held that disturbing figures buried in the earth would invite disaster.
a belief that would soon collide with the government's plans for the site. He seized the farmers' land to build a massive global museum, systematically evicting the very people who had accidentally uncovered the emperor's secret. It serves as a reminder that history is a volatile force. While it can preserve the ancient past, it also has the power to displace the lives of the present.